And welcome back. Episode 39, Drop the Green. This is going to be hour one of 3 hours, 4 hours. How long are we going to?
I think 6.
6 hours. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
No, we're going to keep it a little bit shorter than last episode, but good feedback on that one already. Appreciate y'all watching. But episode 39, so we'll do a little dedication. This week's overview, I kind of wanted to touch on next-gen penalties, see how those are a little bit different. And then, as always, recap the Daytona 500, talk about who stood out. We got some really good head-to-heads this year that I'm really excited.
Dude.
I think that will be good on Standouts just to keep track of those.
It will.
And then we'll predict Atlanta. Got another super speedway coming up. See where our bets landed. And then we'll close with the Choose Who zone. So get right into it. My name's Austin.
My name's Spencer.
Let's drop the green.
It's been a long time gone since the truth's been told, and I've seen my head cut us low. Come on, save my soul with a bar guitar and a honky tonk.
All right. So back into it. We had a little traveler whiskey this week. You good over there?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
All right. Put your condom. There you go.
Yeah.
Safety first.
When you're messing with Bonnie Blue, that's what you got to do. You know?
But no, I broke out the traveler whiskey today to celebrate.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man.
I was telling Spencer, and I didn't notice this until that's my second bottle of it, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
It's blend number 40. So I would only assume that's why the car
was number 40.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which kind of reminded me of the old Clint Boyer 07, the Jack Daniels 07.
Yeah,
because
duh.
it's old number 7.
Mhm, old number 7.
So I never saw anybody online or anything talk about that.
Yeah,
but
say it. But that makes
why
sense.
else would it be number 40?
There is no
It
other
had to
reason.
be.
It had to
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
So, episode 39, we're going to try to keep our dedications a little bit shorter, even though I know everybody here loves the history. But I'm going to start with you. I actually wrote these backwards, so don't worry.
Yeah, I know.
I know you probably looked at that name. You're like, I don't know that guy.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, buddy.
But I'll let you go ahead with number 39.
Yep. So my number 39 this week, and I was trying to remember if I did him before, and I couldn't remember.
One of us have already,
somebody
yeah.
had to.
Yeah,
but,
either 12 or 31 or
yeah, or
something.
6.
or 6. Yeah.
So he had a lot of numbers.
Journeyman.
Too bad that's not his nickname.
Right, yeah.
We've talked about it before, but Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man, nickname. Good nickname. As we know, we're going to take an episode and we're going to do those nicknames because we got to do that. But he got the Rocket Man name for speed at qualifying. So he won a ton of poles. Too bad he couldn't win that many races.
Right.
But he started racing in 1993 in midgets. Got his first cup ride in 2000 with a Penske team. It was Penske, but it wasn't the Penske.
Yeah, it was something Penske.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Yeah, he did that. He actually raced for 2 of those guys. Like two different, like not even like Wood Brothers, you know what I mean? That's a Penske car, but literally Penske was in the name. But first full-time ride was in 02. 02 to 05, he finished 7th or higher in points. So
crazy.
He was good through those 4 years right there. 2008, he won the Daytona 500. After that, 2009 to 2013, he raced with SHR, which is where this number comes from, number 39. Won 4 races in that span. Nothing crazy. Where he really did his best was after 2013. He moved to RCR from 2014 to 2018 and had a really good year in 2014. He finished 2nd in points that year with RCR. But he never really won anything in RCR.
He was Newman. Like,
yeah.
If he was up front, he wouldn't let anybody pass him.
Exactly. And that, pretty much. So after 2018 and 2019, he moved to Roush and raced there from 19 to 21. And 21 was his last full season as a Cup driver.
Yeah.
And literally the last thing I wrote down was he was hard to pass. That's kind of how. And I think the bad thing is I really just know him from those very final years, kind of like I do a lot of these older guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everyone would say, kind of like what Ross is now. They just give him shit for not being able to pass him, you know, and then like, oh my
which
gosh.
is like what they're paid to do.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Ryan Newman, hard man to pass.
Yeah, I do want to say a few things if that's okay.
This is why they get long. But
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure that they stay long.
Of course.
There was one year, I think it was 03 or 04, he won 8 races.
8 races?
Yeah, I'm not making that up.
Oh my god.
I'm not making that up. Look it up.
That's insane.
Yeah, did not even come close to winning the championship. So, and this was, I'm 99% sure it was like 03.
Oh my god!
Because that's the argument people always have.
Yeah.
Is this format's. This is not me apologizing for the playoffs at all. But even in the old format, you could do that because he was checkers or wreckers. I mean, he was either winning or on his lid.
Yeah.
But so that's a big one, and then obviously you can't talk about Ryan Newman without the 2020 Daytona 500.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was a bad one.
How in the world did he live through that?
Yeah. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like I thought I had witnessed my first like fatality as a racing fan. You know,
yeah, which would be terrible.
For real. Yeah, and you never wish that on anybody. And the craziest thing is that he pulled. Not only did he pull through, he got back in a car like within the same year, man.
Yeah, same year. Because the COVID break happened. You know, they put Ross in there for a little while.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And that's still a crazy thing, tangent here, but, you know, he was under contract with Chevy.
Yeah, and they put him in that.
And they put him in that Ford 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think he only did like 2 races.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, something like that. But he was like a weapon in that short amount of time.
Yeah, it was.
Which was great.
It was.
But, no, Ryan Newman's a cool dude. Big dude.
Big dude. It makes me feel like good about myself, you know. Like I still have a shot at doing this. You know,
isn't it weird that number 39? That was his number racing in midgets growing up.
Okay,
that's why he picked it. But for his cup car, but you've seen the Chili Bowl, right? Like how in the world did he fit in a midget?
That's insane.
Because like Kyle Busch, you know, he's like 6'2" or something. Yeah, he couldn't hardly get in one.
He's all curled up in a ball.
And then Ryan Newman's like, I don't even know.
I'm the best at this.
Yeah, you know?
Like not
huge,
only,
dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's like
he's not
big.
As tall as we think, but he is big around.
Dude, he's so big. He has no neck.
I know he has no neck. He looks like he could like literally pull a wagon.
Yeah, I bet he does in his spare time.
100%. They hook it up to his neck. He just drags it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So all right, Ryan Newman. So I picked a guy. I figured you might not know the name. Not really a NASCAR guy, but I'll keep it brief for that reason. But I picked Bryan Clauson. This is somebody I didn't grow up knowing about. Really, you know, I'd say I probably only heard his name 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Started getting into him. But so he's born June 15th, 1989 in California. Was like a dirt phenom. So also another midget guy. Wing sprints, wingless sprints, yada, yada, yada. He did the whole California dirt racing, moved to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They all do. It's the Jeff Gordon route, right?
Yep.
Jeff did it first, and then everybody else thinks they're going to do it. And he was a really good racer, but just to keep it short, so, you know, multi-time midget champion, multi-time sprint car champion, tried to go into Indy, raced Indy Lights.
Oh.
Didn't quite work out for him. Went into NASCAR with Ganassi. That kind of went through a deal that fell through, but showed promise.
Yeah.
So he was in a stock car for a full year. Ended up racing the Indy 500 3 times. And then, you know, once all the Indy stuff didn't work out, the NASCAR stuff didn't quite work out, just went back to dirt.
Yeah.
No, you can still make a living doing that.
Yeah, you can.
You know, those are professional drivers. Ends up winning the 2014 Chili Bowl.
Wow.
So this guy's a real deal.
Yeah.
Is why I said that. 2016, he makes this pledge called Chasing 200. And he's going to race 200 races in the year 2016. Now, sit back and think about that. 200 races. There's 365 days in the year.
I know there's only 52 weeks.
Yeah, 52 weeks, 200 races.
So he's racing over 2 times a week.
Yeah, he's racing anything he can. And now what, you know, it was like midgets counted, sprint cars counted.
Yeah.
One of the races was the Indy 500. So he ran the Indy 500 that week or that year. Sadly, on his 116th race of Chasing 200, he got in an accident and passed away.
Oh,
just
no.
devastating, right? And this is
2016.
2016, yeah. And even before, you know, obviously you pass away, it raises a lot of awareness. People know about you. But even before then, he was a household name. So, like a lot of these guys that we watch now, that's the caliber he was. He was an organ donor, so he was able to save lives through his organs.
That's awesome.
which is huge.
Yeah.
Now, they have the BC 39 at Indianapolis, which I don't know if you ever knew this, but there's a little dirt track inside Indy Motor Speedway.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
There's a casino in there.
and there's a golf course. And
Yeah,
there's also a little dirt track.
Wow.
So
And
every
that's
year,
his dirt track?
Well, it's not his, but they
But-
built it, and every year they have the BC 39, and it's a 39 lap midget race. BC Bryan Clauson,
for him.
And the sponsor, is Organ Donation. I can't remember the exact name, but huge prestigious midget race. Like I'd put it. Like you got the Chili Bowl,
Yeah.
and then it's like the BC 39. Like
Whoa.
Larson will come back,
Yeah.
all those guys will come.
All those guys just
they won it, and I think Larson's won it too. But like I think Ryan Newman even came back
That's so
for
cool,
it. But
man.
super
That's
cool,
a good
dude.
story.
Yeah, really good story. There's a really good documentary. I knew a little bit about him, and then last year they put a documentary of him on Flow. So the whole time he was doing this Chasing 200. He was filming it all because he wanted to make his own documentary, and so they have all this footage of that year. So it's a really, really well put together documentary where they're like, the whole time it's like race 1,
Yeah.
right, and then they'll go back and they'll be like, yeah, here was Bryan growing up, tell a little backstory. They'll be like race 13, and it's all this footage that Bryan and his wife were taking on that journey.
Oh,
Dude, it's
That's
it's heartbreaking,
yeah.
but it's so cool. We'll
That
have to
is
watch
cool.
it sometime. But
that would be cool to watch.
but yeah, he was 39, so that's it. That's
Yeah.
I don't know how else to end that besides depressing.
No, I
but-
mean, no, it's not depressing because it just shows how cool the sport can be.
Yeah,
like
it
we
is.
don't
It's
want
super cool.
anyone to pass away doing this type of thing, but when they do, the sport is really good. The fans are really good at rallying around behind something and trying to make as much good as they can
Yeah.
out of tragedies like that. So.
Absolutely. So we'll do episode 39, the Ryan Newman, Bryan Clauson edition.
Yeah.
I wanted to get, for our overview, we talked about it a little bit. Obviously, we've got this big Chase Briscoe penalty.
Yeah, the biggest thing from the week this
Yeah,
week.
huge. And so we were talking about that overview. We're like, well, maybe we'll do cheating. It's like, well, we actually are not going to do this for 6 hours today.
No,
But if we
no.
did that, we could.
It would be, and it was just kind of like, what do you talk about really on this topic? Because it's so massive, but it's a really intricate part of the sport. Honestly,
Yeah, and it's
from day one.
And it's gotten so specific
Yes.
since next gen too. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with it. We'll start out. So Chase Briscoe, if you didn't see, was fined. They got caught. One of his car was taken back. Random R&D, whatever. Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. But in my opinion, they sit there and they say Toyota's never fast at qualifying.
How in the world?
He got a pole
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
By a lot. And it's like almost like on Wednesday, NASCAR's like, so our random after the race, our random's going to be the 19.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But
I honestly though I don't. To me, it shouldn't be random. If you want to check every car, you can check every
yeah,
car.
well,
I don't.
it's not random.
I know it's not,
Yeah.
but to call it random and to make us think that it's random, you're right. It's not
Yeah.
random. But what I'm saying is they should be allowed to check any car they want.
Yeah,
to.
for sure.
They should.
Because I don't think, what ended up happening is they were modifying a piece on the spoiler.
Yeah.
And we don't have to get into all that. Just all you have to know is these are spec cars, right?
You can't touch anything.
You get out of the box.
You get a box of Legos.
You put it
and you
together.
put it together.
Yeah, don't file on the pieces or anything.
Nothing.
They got caught. You can't tell me he was the only Toyota, much less JGR car that had it.
Yeah.
Right. So he ends up getting a 100 point.
They were smart. The other ones were smart enough not to win the poll.
Yeah. They lifted at the right before the checkered. So he got a 100-point penalty, which is huge.
That's so much.
10 playoff point penalty.
I know.
$100,000.
And
And
lost,
his crew chief's gone for James Small's gone for 4
weeks.
Yeah, which is wild. So, and we won't get into all the L1, L2, L3, but there's different levels of penalties, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we go back before next gen, there's definitely still penalties.
Yes.
People were cheating, but it was like maybe you didn't fit a template, you didn't meet ride height. The big things you weren't supposed to mess with was the gas and the tires.
Yeah.
That's what they always said, and that's when NASCAR would come down and be like, because Michael Waltrip put like that jet fuel additive or
Yeah.
whatever. They hammered him. I don't even think it was. I meant to look that one up, but it wasn't 100,000 from what I can remember.
It was
which
less
is wild.
than
It was
that.
less than that.
Oh my god.
Now when they got caught cheating, that's still the biggest fine in NASCAR. That was $300,000 to the team
Oh.
when they did the spin gate
yeah,
Richmond thing.
yeah.
So still a lot of money, but this is one team.
Yeah. One
So,
driver.
What the deal is, if y'all don't know, I mean, when we went to next gen, it's all spec parts.
Yes.
So like spent exactly like you said, Lego set basically. I mean,
They give you the instructions.
Yep.
You put that dude together.
You buy these parts from these pre-approved manufacturers. They build them all to spec. You put them together. If you get caught modifying one of these parts, you're defeating the whole purpose of what
The
whether
spec
you
car
whether you
is.
agree with it or not.
Yeah.
That's the parameters NASCAR set.
I know.
So if you do that, you're going to get, I mean, the death penalty almost. I mean, maybe not the death penalty, but that's a huge penalty.
I mean, dude, he has to win a race now to lock himself in.
Right.
And even then, dude, he's going to start.
He has negative 67 points.
I know. That's insane. Oh.
Me, you, and everyone listening to this has more Cup Series points than Chase Briscoe. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
So we're all winners today.
We're all winners.
But I wanted to just say, so that $100,000 modifying spec parts, that's classified as an L2. Like I said, that doesn't really matter for what we're talking about. But that's a big penalty. That's something
Yes.
we really didn't see a ton of before next gen. So since next gen came in, which was 2022, this L2 $100,000 100-point penalty, right? It's huge, right? You know how many teams have gotten it? SHR, Colleague, Hendrick, Front Row, RFK, and now JGR.
6 teams?
Yeah.
Six
I think
teams. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was doing that like
I've
asshole
gotten
thing
this-
where you act like you're counting, but I wasn't.
You weren't
Yeah.
counting. Yeah, of course you weren't. Typical.
Yeah. But
6 teams.
6 teams.
Of high profile. I mean, everyone in the Cup
the
Series.
teams, right?
Yeah, really, the
Yeah.
teams in the Cup Series. And they are getting fine.
L2.
Which, if you're on degrees, is in the middle because I guess L3 would be the
Yeah,
worst.
and
Or is it backwards?
No.
Okay.
I think L3 is the worst, but I don't even know if I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing it. It had to have happened at some point, right?
Do we know what L stands for?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just curious.
I don't even know if they would tell you.
They probably wouldn't.
But maybe you can find it. But
Okay.
I remember, obviously Hendrick and Colleague was like the louvers. Mm-hmm. And then, do you remember, I don't know if you remember when SHR had it, it was the air box.
Yeah.
And they had like
the
made
airbox.
their own.
Yeah.
And like made their own like BS serial number and
yeah.
stuff. It was very intricate.
It was.
But I guess I say all this because obviously that's a huge penalty. They don't want you modifying the parts.
And they still do it.
Everyone, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? No one's being deterred.
I know. What do
So
you
do?
Yeah, what do you do?
Or do we even care? Or are you just like, I mean, I personally don't feel bad about them spending $100,000. You know what I mean?
What, like paying the fine?
Yeah, like that doesn't.
No, that doesn't bother me at all. I don't
like,
care
personally.
about that.
Yeah,
I don't care about that.
But it's not enough for the teams apparently because they keep doing it.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I know it's a weird thing. Like, what do you do with? You're not gonna. I don't think there's any way to deter them.
Clearly,
There's not.
Clearly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you're like unless you like put in a rule like the Larson rule.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you will not. If you get caught, say you get caught with an L1, it's a fine, some points. If you get caught with an L2 or above, you're disqualified for the season for the playoffs. Like you can still race.
Yeah.
And you get all the winnings from that, but you won't go to the playoffs. Maybe you're that harsh with it.
Which you could be. I mean, isn't that basically what they did to Austin Dillon in a way? I mean, he won and he didn't get to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
but he got to keep everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not unheard of.
No, it's not unheard of. But he got a penalty for on-race racing, not for post-race inspection.
Yeah, shenanigans.
Yeah. Which to me feels a bit different. Like, if you're driving backwards down the track in cars, you should probably be.
Compared to someone taking a foul to your spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, they're both bad.
So this has gotten me thinking, and I think we all know this too, but I just want to ask you, how many cars were there? 41 out there?
Yeah, 41.
Of those 41, let's talk out of our ass.
Yeah.
Because we love doing it.
Of course.
All right, there's 41 cars out there. How many of those cars do you think had a modified spec part on it?
Probably 37. Yeah, I mean, if we're
there's
getting down to the
there's got to be
nitty-gritty.
people that aren't getting caught.
100%.
There's got to be people that just didn't get checked.
Yeah. And then there's
I mean,
some
there
that
has
probably,
to be,
there
right?
has to be. I mean, dude, I don't even know what a spec part, like you said, to me, the Lego thing. If you're taking a Lego and you're inside the airbox that you have, you maybe not be making your own, but now you're getting in there with a sandpaper and sanding it down to where it's now, instead of it's a half-inch thick, it's a quarter-inch thick. Okay, well, you may not think that makes a difference, but
if everyone else has the same one and you're just this much thinner or whatever,
it could.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot tell me they're not doing
and
dumb, crazy stuff like that.
You can't not try.
Exactly,
right? You can't not try.
Because you know that someone else is thinking about it. Like, there are probably literally their engineers. They probably have like 2 engineers on the side that their job is to think of stuff they can modify.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, run it in the sim, see if it does anything. Like, because I would assume that they could literally tweak everything perfectly in a sim.
I'm sure.
To see exactly how it would affect everything.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's someone's full-time job, and they get paid 6 figures to do that.
Yeah, which is wild.
It is.
I just think it's so
cheat.
fun. To cheat, yeah.
You cannot.
But that's since 1948, right?
Yeah, I know it is, yeah. You're cheating everybody.
But it's just wild to me that, like, people want innovation. And I get that, for sure. People want that innovation, that creativity. And we're kind of in this box now, but I just think it's so funny. You can put them in this box, and they're still like, yeah, well, you can find us $100,000, 100 points.
Yeah, we don't care.
Clearly, they do not care.
No. I mean, but honestly, $100,000 though.
That doesn't matter.
That
nothing.
Doesn't matter. That's nothing. And like you said, the points though. But I mean, say Briscoe comes out in Atlanta, dude, and finishes 4th, finishes top 5 in every stage. I mean, yeah, he's gonna be back in the positive. He won't be up in the standings, but. Yeah. I mean, you got it right back. It's not, to me. It's not.
And if he wins, the 100 points doesn't matter. Then the next problem is the 10 playoff points, right?
But then, I mean, the only thing that affects now is that you have to win a race, right?
Yeah. So basically, I would say he probably has to win a race
because I mean, to me, the way I'm thinking about it is the only way you can get playoff points in the regular season is stage wins. And that, fastest lap bullshit they're doing now, right?
Yeah, but I don't think is that a playoff point? I think that's just a regular point.
Is that okay? I can't remember.
Point.
Never mind.
And then a win gets you 10 playoff points, right? So when he wins,
he'll go back to 0.
0.
Yeah.
But he'll be in the playoffs, so the 100 points doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Really, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
And then he'll get through round 1, and then even if he wins in round 1 of the playoffs, I would say that's enough for that 10 points to not matter. That 10-point loss. Because then he gets 10 more playoff points that carries over to round 2. Yeah. Isn't this format ridiculous when you start talking about it?
Yeah, it is. Is there a world, though, like say we're doing Winston Cup stuff? Mm-hmm. I guess there wouldn't be a playoff type of thing.
No,
so he would have probably lost more regular points. So he may have lost 200 regular points?
And it would be like haunting him all year.
I was about to say, to me, that sounds worse. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, 10 playoff points?
Yeah, because exactly like you said, it doesn't. If he wins, the 100-point part of this. So there's 3 parts of it really. There's 4 parts. Crew chief's gone for 4 races. I don't think that matters at all.
Not anymore.
Because James Small will be basically there. He's going to zoom in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean that doesn't matter. Okay?
He's going to be in the war room.
Yeah,
he's gonna be exactly
with a direct line to whatever.
Yes,
they could have me and you on that box with James Small in our ear.
And we're just spitting out exactly what he says.
Okay, so that doesn't matter.
No,
the second part is $100,000. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
so already 50% of this fine
doesn't matter.
0.
Yeah, the 100 points. As soon as he wins a race, the 100 points really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Unless, like you think, we get 16, 17 winners. Yeah. Maybe it will. But I'm going to go ahead and say it doesn't matter.
No, you're probably right.
And then the 10 playoff points, I think that's the only thing that might come into play.
Maybe.
Yeah. But if he gets a win, then he starts at 0 playoff points.
So what we're getting at is I think we're kind of all hitting on the same point is if they want to discourage cheating, they have to beef this up, sadly. Yeah. Because it's not deterring anybody, clearly. No. And if they do get caught, it's not putting anybody, unless they get caught when they win, that would hurt. Like, say he cheated and won.
Like Denny.
Did. Exactly like that. That's when it hurts the worst because you were already locked in. But it's like, okay. If you're going to do it early.
So here's my question. Like, obviously NASCAR wants it not to happen, right?
Of course, yeah.
What about you? Do you care or do you want to keep seeing it? I think it's awesome.
I do too.
I think it's funny. I think it creates like more things to talk about.
I guess I wish though is the problem is we never know until it happens.
Yeah.
Like I want to know if everyone's cheating. I want to know what they're all doing.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's the more fun part.
But it's always been that way, right?
I know.
But I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
Like it would be cool, like if they could tell us, and like somehow NASCAR not find out. But we would know like how they're cheated up.
That reminds me. You remember watching Moonshiners as a kid?
Yeah.
And they followed the Moonshiners, and then they also followed the cops, and you're like, yeah, this is not realistic.
Yeah, dude, this is not adding up.
The camera guys, when they go back to the hotel, would just tell each other
where they were.
So it's just not. Unfortunately, it's not possible.
Yeah, it's not.
But no, it would be cool. That would be super cool.
But yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't care that it happens.
No,
like let it happen.
Let it happen. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Just personally, that NASCAR's so adamant, and as they should be, that you shouldn't cheat.
They have to.
And
be.
these teams, 6 of these teams, continue to spit in the face.
Yeah,
like find me.
Yeah, do
find
it.
Me. Yeah,
try.
Now, last question. We'll move on. Do you think next week Chase Briscoe's car goes to Atlanta with no modified spec parts?
Hell no.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Because he's got to be. They've got it. All of them are getting away with something.
It's literally like, you get caught and then you ratchet it up because you know they're not going to check again.
Yeah,
like,
or you've been cheat. I swear to you, dude, and you probably agree. There's stuff that all these teams are modifying.
Yeah.
That has not been caught since 2022.
22, yeah.
Don't you think? Like, there's got to be little stuff. These people, like you said, they're sitting around getting paid lots of money.
Yeah.
There's little stuff on these cars that is being changed that NASCAR might not
I would
catch.
I would assume that like there's stuff that you can't even like they laser measure the outside, but you can't laser measure an airbox.
No. And see that, and that's how Briscoe got caught.
Yeah.
It came back to teardown.
Yeah.
But I think there's even stuff when you tear one down that they're probably changing, and maybe it doesn't even help.
Also, who do you know that NASCAR has these probably retired engineers? Like, who's tearing this car down?
Yeah.
Because I remember you personally telling me a story about a class one time where you knew the guy that graded the stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. Let's just out me.
I didn't say anything but that. But you know what I'm getting at is, dude, you can't tell me Big Daddy Rick Hendrick may not be in the pocket of some dude.
Maybe.
And if Rick's in there, you can't tell me that Penske's not in there.
Everybody's playing the game.
Everybody's playing the game. And if I'm a tear down official, I'm open for business, baby.
Yeah, give me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you probably set up some type of rules. Don't mess with the spoiler. Okay. Sorry, Briscoe, you messed that one up.
Get on through 10.
Dude,
wheel it in.
It's one of those things though, if you keep it, and I've always had this problem with NASCAR. I feel like I've talked about it several times, is the more stuff that you keep behind closed doors, the more stuff that is open to conspiracy type things. And that's what this sport is completely based around.
Yeah.
Like to me, they should make it, yes, they find him. They told us what he modified, which was a spoiler, I guess. But to me, that we should do that more. Like you should, I agree. Like you should voice it more, I guess.
Back in the day, they used to bring a trailer of like all illegal parts they confiscated.
Oh,
and
you
they
see,
keep
that's
them,
cool.
and they would display them. And then they've gotten a little bit better about this. And I've seen it more in Xfinity and Truck than Cup. I know they did it in Cup a little bit last year too. But do you remember? I think 2 years ago when Majeski had that bleeder in his tire.
Yes, I do remember that.
And they did a like little not really a press conference, but it was like the director of competition of trucks came out and was like, "Here's the bleeder. Here's how it worked."
Yeah,
and it was like,
to me, that's cool.
Super cool.
Yeah,
super cool.
If we could do, and granted, it's way harder with the spec parts.
It is
because they're modifying them in ways that we don't.
Here's how it should work.
Yeah,
or here's how it should look. Here's what it looks like now.
Exactly.
So it'd actually be easier for them to tell us.
It would be easier. I guess maybe they should go into depth of why this gave them an advantage.
Yeah. I'll send you a really cool tweet. There's a guy named Bozy on Twitter, and he used to be a crew chief, or not crew chief, like a crew guy in NASCAR. He's a crew guy in IMSA now, but anytime something like this happens, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen that look before.
Oh.
But anytime something like this happens, he'll be like, here's what happened. Let's take a deep dive. And he does like a 10, 15 Twitter thread.
Oh, that's good.
I read it the other day. I didn't read all of it, but he like posted pictures of a splitter, or I'm sorry, a spoiler. It was like, here's what they. I don't know how he finds this stuff out.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you though. It's really cool. But that would be cool coming from NASCAR, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
Which
take.
I think is your point.
Yeah, that is my point. Like it to me, and I don't want to put those guys out of business. You know, those media guys that do a great job.
Yeah.
At
this is
finding
just a dude.
stuff.
That's the funniest part.
That's what I'm saying. But he still takes his personal time because he wants to know and he's interested about it of putting it out there. But I don't think it should be that hard to find. Like I shouldn't have to know that guy's name and figure out his X handle and then read all about that.
No,
like
I agree.
It should be emailed to me in my NASCAR.com email.
Yeah.
You know?
It should be a frame reward question.
For real. For real.
What spec part did Chase Briscoe on? 50 points added.
Yeah.
But all right, well that's a good overview. Let's get right into the Daytona 500 recap.
Yeah,
Give me your good race rating and why.
I'm still whatever. I gave it a 7.9.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, it's probably a lot of it's just glad racing's back.
Yeah.
Like
it's a 500. You can't really hate it.
Can't hate it.
Yeah.
It's the first points race we see all year. But I am freaking tired of this running around at 50% throttle. I'm tired of it. They have to fix it.
I agree.
What'd you give it?
7.5.
Okay, so we were right around.
I mean, it's the 500.
Yeah.
It got in that day.
I need to write this down because I got the sheet going this year, so we're going to be able to rate the whole season.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
7.9, 7.5.
7.9.
So, I'm glad they got it in on Sunday. The president was there. That's pretty cool, regardless of who it is.
Yeah.
The president was at the Daytona
at a
500.
NASCAR track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always cool.
It will forever be cool.
Forever
I think
be
if a
cool.
past president,
Yeah.
his name could be Barack Obama. If he would show up, I would show just as much.
It'd be cool. It's an honor, really.
I wish he would go to Nashville. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Because I'll be at that race.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, I mean, it is what it is. Let's talk a little. We can talk a little fuel mileage. So, and we've harped on it before.
Yeah.
And we'll harp on it a little bit in Atlanta too. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say, even back in the day,
they would do the same thing.
they didn't do fuel mileage, but they would go single file for like 60%.
I'd rather see him go single file.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
Personally, I don't know. I
mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
I don't
think
know.
about it. Think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I mean, so instead of 3 little crashes, we get 1 massive one, because you cannot tell me that when we get to 10 to go that there's not going to be some lines forming. You know,
they did. Yeah, it was the same thing. I mean, it was just single file. And I guess I will say, you know, the thing that we hate about the fuel savings is we know they're going slow.
Yeah.
Right. It might look cool, but we know they're going slow. I mean, even when they were single file, they're still fuel saving. Like the only guy, and I remember even before this fuel mileage stuff didn't just happen overnight. Like I remember, when they were single file, they'd be like, "Hey, the guy stay behind the leader."
Yeah,
because the guy in second was going 50% throttle. Yeah, the guy in front was going full throttle.
Yeah, he had to be.
Well,
and that's the thing about running the single file is you're the guy in the lead. The only thing that you can do is run 100% because you're trying to pull those guys to go. Yeah. Because the faster you go, the more, instead of them being at 50%, maybe they're at 75.
Yeah,
and over 40, 50 laps, that makes a difference.
Yeah. So
I think it changes go ahead.
I literally wasn't going to say anything.
Okay. I literally just think it would change the dynamic of the race because you would have to run more green flag laps if you're single file. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they get lucky all the time with these break. Like, we're getting cautions when they're running too wide anyway.
Yeah.
For like random, I mean, yeah, stuff happens, but stuff wouldn't happen if they were probably right behind each other, single file.
Maybe. I've got that as a point that I want to bring up later.
Okay.
But I hear what you're saying.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
To me, you're like, okay, the race would be more boring, but to me, that would play into the fuel mileage more.
Yeah.
Because they're only getting 2 stops. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. Now, so you're thinking less fuel mileage stuff would cut down on like the unnecessary cautions and wrecks.
Yes, because you're not too wide anymore. You're not joshing. Okay, not joshing for position as much. You're stuck where you're at.
At what point do you put those unnecessary wrecks and cautions on the drivers?
Oh, you're right. It is on the drivers.
That's the fence that I'm on.
I know. I'm putting more blame on the way the fuel saving is, but that's also on the drivers and the teams. They don't have to save fuel.
No, but
That's
I guess what I'm saying, in my opinion, because I think you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
But like, let's say the end of that race happens. We were seeing Denny and Cindric
Yeah.
were legitimately
Racing.
toying with each other,
Yes.
setting each other up, right? Let's say Custer doesn't, for some reason, turn left on the field. I still don't know why he did it, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea why he did that.
I don't know.
Let's say he doesn't do that. We get a race to the finish, probably side by side.
Yeah.
Cindric probably still would have won. I think fans forget about the fuel mileage because we had a legitimate race at the end.
Yeah.
Just like when we were single file the whole time and we had a good race at the end, people forgot that we were single file
The whole time, yeah.
Not saying that fuel mileage shouldn't be fixed. It
No.
should. But I think the biggest problem we have with super speedway racing, more than fuel savings, is these guys are just driving like idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, where was Briscoe go? Or did I say Briscoe earlier?
No,
too?
no.
Okay,
You said
Custer.
Custer, yeah.
Where was Custer going?
I don't know what he was thinking. He acted like he never drove a car before. No,
I know.
He did.
And then
he
it's
did.
like
It
you
was
look
bad.
at the Joey, and you mentioned in our group chat, the Ricky Joey thing. I didn't think Joey had any fault in that, and now I look back on it, I'm like,
Yeah, he
well,
did.
Joey pushed the issue. Ricky,
Yeah.
I'd put it like almost 50-50.
It is 50-50.
But it's like Joey, for no reason at all, was pushing the issue.
Yes.
And,
Like
making a hole trying to duck him out because
Because he was mad. He was mad that he was blocked, dude.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I see that happening to like a Ty Gibbs. Like I see Ty Gibbs making that error. Dude, something got to Joey in that moment
Yeah.
because Joey does not. Yes, he's hot headed, but he's smart.
Yeah.
Like he knows.
You don't think he's like a wreck the field hothead?
No,
Yeah.
you would never really think that. I mean, he would definitely wreck you for the win, but he wouldn't wreck the whole field like he did there. But
Yeah.
exactly like you said. Also, though, we could have completely shut this down if Stenhouse just would have been a man about it and he already got in front of him. Why is he letting him have a hole? Like he's
Yeah.
not like what was he thinking?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are any of them thinking
Yeah.
at this point? And
Yeah.
I mean, I think the fuel mileage thing is legitimate. That's ridiculous. I don't know if that toothpaste is ever going to be put back in the tube.
No, you're right.
But more than that, it's like, why are we just playing demo cars to the end?
Yes.
They said, I think I saw Byron, and you might know or remember, but when he took the white flag, he was running like 9th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a knock on Byron. It's not
No.
his fault, right?
No, he didn't do. He was
didn't
just
do
trying to
anything but
finish
hold
the
wheel-
race.
He didn't do anything
Yeah.
but hold the wheel straight.
Exactly.
It's not his fault.
No. But he got through.
He got through.
Yeah. And it, like you said, I wasn't mad about the finish. I do think if we're going to do a super speedway, there should be a massive crash at the end every time.
I don't think at the end. I'm fine. Like, you're definitely going to get a big one.
Yeah.
I'm team, like, I know the big one's going to happen. Let it be with, like, 10 to go.
Okay.
I don't
Not
wanna
on the
see it.
last
Yeah.
lap.
I don't
type.
want an overtime.
Okay.
Right. Nor
Yeah.
do I want, like, the guy in 9th place to
win the race.
win the race.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. He didn't deserve to win.
No.
I mean, he was fast all day, though.
Yeah.
At the same
Once
time.
again,
but
he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Again, let's quit going to these tracks.
I
Let's,
know.
dude.
You have to tell me twice.
Daytona, Talladega. Stupid Atlanta did this for some reason.
Yeah.
Imagine a mile and a half this week at Atlanta.
I know.
Oh,
well,
my God.
I think, and we'll talk about it in predictions. We're still running super speedway
Yeah.
package and horsepower and everything at Atlanta
Yeah, I know.
for some reason.
I know.
All right, what did you think about the Priest crash?
I just feel like, and I'm gonna sound so bad when I say this. I just feel like that's what you sign up for.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
agree.
Like, and dude, I completely respect Priest and love him as a human being. I don't want anything bad to happen to Ryan Priest. But like, he gets out of the car and he says, like, dude, what do we have to do to keep these on the ground?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean?
I-
Don't hit nobody?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
I agree with you 100%. Where I will say this one's different is it lifted from the front.
It did lift from the front. He like rolled up on someone.
Yeah, but like it's because of that underbody. Like I agree with you.
No, everything stems to the underbody.
Race cars flip, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I felt that way not just because it was Corley Joy, but last year when he got sideways, that race car flipped.
Yeah.
They flip, and even Priest at Daytona last year.
Yeah.
When he flipped, race cars flip.
Yes.
But this one's just like to me never should have happened.
No, this one
Even
should
if
have.
he
This
hit-
one should have lifted up and then landed straight back down hard.
Yeah. I've never
Boom.
seen one lift up from the front like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the side, maybe the back.
But it's just, dude, the whole underbody's completely covered.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know what
you unbolt it.
No, you poke holes in it. Like, what if you
Yeah,
drill?
I mean, yeah, I'd try that too. But all I'm saying is that's the problem.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I feel like the problem is something they've been harping on, and no one's like wanted to fix the issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, also feel like that underbody has a lot to do with how this car works, aero wise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I mean,
Like, I
know,
don't feel like you could just take it off and this car would run the same.
No, and what they always said, when they designed this car was like the underbody and the diffuser was going to make it better to drive in traffic.
Yes. Well, that's
That
not
seems
true.
And we know the diffuser isn't because they took the diffuser off for
Yeah.
short tracks for that reason.
Yeah.
And the underbody's clearly not either.
Well, the underbody, I mean, we don't know if it's technically not helping because,
Yeah.
God, if it is, I would hate to see it all.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm just regurgitating what I've heard from other people.
Of
say, 'cause,
course,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
We don't.
Yeah, we have
At
no
all.
idea. I'm not an engineer. I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I'm not in the
But I don't
air
know.
tunnel.
I'm more like
take it off.
Take it off.
and see what happens.
because I'm like you. Race cars flip.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're better off flipping than hitting the wall at 180.
Dude, I would you remember like Bubba at Pocono?
Yeah.
When he drove through the grass right there
Yes.
instead of like riding the wall.
Yeah.
I think I'd much rather be in like Priuses.
Yeah.
Freaking upside down.
And I've seen some driver interview where they're like, flips don't hurt.
Really?
Yeah. Now, granted, when you land on your lid like that and
Yeah.
it's rigid, that's probably different.
yeah.
I think that's why.
I think they're probably just more scary.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think that's
than
probably why Priest is mad is because number one, this was like a flip that shouldn't have happened.
Yes.
The way it was,
Yes.
and then he landed on his lid too.
anything. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I get where he's coming from, but I think even Priest would admit like, yeah, you're gonna flip a race car every now and then. 'Cause
Yeah,
they've been
you
flipping forever, but
They
it's like
have.
when you flip one from it doing a wheelie and catching it, that's insane.
No, it's literally like when you start to fly a kite.
It
That's
looks like a kite.
literally
That's
what
I-
his car looked
that's
like.
That's what I thought too when it did that like little shutter.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks like a kite. Mm-hmm. And it's a 3,500 pound race car.
Dude, still with that underbody, these cars look like matchbox
I know.
cars
I do not
when
like
they
that.
fly.
I do not like that part of it.
I know because it makes you feel like it's nothing's bad happening
Yeah,
in them. It really
just,
does.
It just
like
doesn't look cool to me.
It-
I don't know.
Yeah, it
maybe it
really-
does to you. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
But-
not saying it. I don't think. Yeah, there are some cool crashes, but at the same time, I want everybody to be okay.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't think this is just such me nitpick. I don't think it looks cool.
Cool. The whole
I want to see like the exhaust and
exhaust.
the
Yeah.
like. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, lift
That
up
is cool.
Ross's.
Yeah, I know.
No, just lift it up. Snore.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like.
No, I see what you
wanna
mean,
see it
but
drive on
okay,
the
my
rear
bad.
end and
Yeah, I see what you mean, but at the same time, they could easily just take the exhaust out the back if they wanted to. How often you looking up underneath the race car?
never. But when
When
one
it flips, you want to see the exhaust.
Yeah,
you want
it's
to see
just
the
cool.
drive. Yeah,
It's just
okay.
cool. I don't know. I told you I was nitpicking.
Yeah, you are nitpicking a little bit. You are nitpicking. a
But
little bit.
all right, let's. I got a few more points that I wanted to.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by the winner?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I wasn't either.
Yeah,
If
all
you
right.
would have told me like circumstances.
Yeah.
Yes, but
I
if you
called
would-
him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
told you he was gonna. I mean,
Let me check my notes. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like there was 5 guys that, like, even more than that. Like, you're not going to be surprised if Denny won that race.
No.
You're definitely not going to be surprised if Austin Cindric won that race. You're not going to be surprised if Joey won that race. It's crazy how Joey lost the race.
Right.
Had a rocket. He had Bryan Newman in the passenger seat because he was a freaking rocket man, dude.
Yeah, those Penske cars could do whatever they wanted.
Anywhere.
It was weird. That's
Someone
weird.
should check their
Yeah,
spoilers.
Take
Dude.
that crumpled up mess back to R&D and tear it down.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that was crazy. But no, I'm glad. And I think you'll agree too. I'm glad it's a Byron.
Yeah. Like, we knew he was going to win anyway.
Yeah, I don't want Cody Ware winning this.
Hell no.
And
You
then
didn't
being in
want
the
you didn't
playoffs.
want Corey LaJoy doing it, who was
No.
looking. You can't tell me he wasn't looking half bad.
So one thing, and this is
towards the end.
Maybe I'm going to sound biased here, but like 20 to go, you know that second and third lane we're trying to form.
Yeah.
And he would just keep blocking it.
Yes, he
blocking
would.
It. And they're literally on TV. They're like, that lane either one of those lanes would have a chance.
Yeah.
If he would not
Stop doing that.
doing that. And if you're doing that, then you're not going to get to the front either.
Yeah.
I think my unbiased opinion on him as super speedways is like he's just such a weapon that people just like
He's trying to just do too much.
always.
And that's our biggest beef with him
Yeah.
sometimes. It's like, dude, stay in your damn lane, son.
Yeah. Well, he'll be at Atlanta.
Atlanta, I know.
Yeah.
And he'll be a force to reckon with there. I think we'll see him in the top 5, at least portions of the race. I mean, clearly that car's got some speed. More speed than I thought it did.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I can't say anything to that because, I mean, obviously.
I mean, yeah, because, really, I'm only comparing it to Justin Allgaier. Like, we know that car was built well, but we didn't really see him up there. And again, it may be a strategic move. They were like, we're going to sit here until the last 4 and then sneak in.
Look at where they both finished.
That's
the other thing,
I
too.
know.
Yeah. That's like I think that's a little Corey LaJoy thing there.
But also at the same time, like, Corey LaJoy has, I mean, I guess Justin Allgaier had nothing to lose too because it's a one-off for him as well.
No.
But, I mean, I don't blame Corey for doing what he's doing, especially in this situation because he gets TV time, which we know he loves.
Right.
And then he gets to cause a massive accident, which he also loves. So it's like.
Which I guess that one was, I think.
It wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault.
But I'd love to say it was. I know. I'd love to say it was.
You wait for next week.
Yeah. We'll have another chance.
So I think we talked about, just real quick, I put this down, and we talked about it, but give me a quick answer, and I won't answer so we can move on. Is the package or the driving style to blame for why these super speedways are such a mess?
I think I'm going to go 60-40. Okay. I think that's the best way to break it down.
What's your 60?
My 60 is the drivers.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
After
surprised
we
you went
talk,
that way.
I know,
Okay.
I am, because I was kind of more leaning towards the package, but I also think we just need to be grown up and be grown-ups towards these guys. Quit acting like damn idiots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, quit being
If you
stupid.
take away winning in, does that go away?
Yeah, I think it yes, because you don't have a Corey LaJoy going balls to the wall.
Yeah.
the
Which,
whole
granted,
time.
not a good example.
Not a good Stenhouse.
But like Stenhouse, yes, perfect,
Stenhouse is a perfect example. Yeah, it's Stenhouse. Like, he doesn't throw that block there.
No,
he doesn't throw that block. He takes his top 5 that he's probably going to get, because now he would be the first car in the outside row, right? Mm-hmm. And who's to say that they don't get up and run?
Going.
You know, and because what was 10 to go? Like, there was still a decent amount of racing left, I think, at that point.
There was, and the
before
risk,
the Cindric.
before the second crash.
Yes, yeah.
So, and Daytona pays, they tell us all the time, it pays way more than any other race.
Yeah.
But the potential of being in the playoffs outweighs how much that race pays.
It does.
Where if it wasn't winning in my humble opinion, I think you take the risk of, okay, I can either run 5th, maybe something will work out, I get a chance to win, as opposed to I'm running 5th, I have to do something to win.
Yeah.
Because suddenly that 5th place money means nothing when you have this carrot of the playoffs dangling in front of you. That's what I think.
No, I think you're exactly right. 60-40 drivers, but that's kind of getting into, can you really be mad at the drivers for racing the way that
they're playing the game?
They're playing
just like Joe Logano plays the game.
Exactly. So it's,
you can't be mad at Joe Logano for being a 3-time champion.
No, you can't. Does he deserve to be a 3-time champion?
He showed up and finished where he finished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's tough. But
all right.
I think 40% of the package. We got to
No, I like
we got to run full speed.
I like that. I feel like I skewed you. And I feel like I talked to you.
No, I mean, I
should have asked you that percentage beforehand.
You should have. And it would have probably definitely been 60-40, but package.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do feel like I feel like I'm allowed to change my opinion.
No, I know.
Okay.
I love that you.
Okay. Yeah.
Standout. So I put Toyota has some speedway speed.
Yeah, for the first time in a while.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Really in qualifying, because, I mean, the race is the race, right?
Yeah.
A Rick Ware car was up there. Mm-hmm. But I think really, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you have some standouts you want to talk about, we can. But I think on this segment, we never really know where to go.
Yeah.
But we have really good head-to-heads. So I think maybe
this may become the head-to-head.
Yeah, I think we focus on our head-to-head section.
We have several more than just one.
So go ahead and line us out on who we picked for head-to-heads.
Okay,
and maybe why, too.
We did this on, if you're just listening, so this is our second episode, season 2. But we did a bonus episode in the betting section, I believe, our bonus episode. So go back and listen to that if you haven't. But we lined up SVG versus Suarez, and we kind of picked them due to they're on the same team. And Suarez should definitely have the edge because of the ovals. He should be better on every single oval we go to. But SVG will probably get him on the road courses, I would assume. So I think it'll be a good battle because I mean, what is there? 6, 7?
6. I think there's 6. Yeah.
6 road courses.
It's funny, and it's my fault too. We do this every time.
I know.
We never look it up.
We never look it up. Yeah. Way more fun this way.
It is. It's like
Tell us in the comments.
It's like a running bit.
Yeah. How many road courses there are? Because next week there might be 9.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
yeah. I think it's 2. Watkins Glen.
It's somewhere in there. But he should have the edge there. And so you would think that he could only get 6. He could only get him 6 times.
Yeah.
Because I would literally every track we go to, besides maybe the super speedways, give the edge to Suarez at the ovals
on paper.
On paper for sure. Next up we have Cindric Berry. I think this might be the best one on there because we picked this one because Cindric is the low man at the totem pole on as far as talent wise that goes at Penske. I mean he's not done anything since. Literally just winning at super speedways.
Yeah,
or
he won at
Gateway
because Blaney ran out.
Of fuel mileage race. Cindric won there, got into the playoffs, did nothing, and Josh is practically going to be running the same exact car with the Wood brothers, and we need to see how much talent he has, and so we'll see how he goes from here. I think that'll be a really good one. We got Hocevar and Gibbs. Definitely, Gibbs should have the edge in this one for sure. I think he should beat him handily, personally, in this one. I think he should beat him handily. But I think it's good to watch to see how far Hocevar has come because this, to me, is the next guy he needs to climb the ladder with.
Yeah.
He needs to climb the ladder with this guy. And if you're Carson and you're showing that you're beating Ty Gibbs every week, who definitely has superior equipment, has manufacturer backing, which they do a little bit too, but not on the same level that Gibbs does with Toyota, I would say.
That's why I love this one because I think this is a overachiever against what on paper is looking like an underachiever.
Yes.
And we're both big on Ty Gibbs.
Yes.
Right? It's nothing against him, but it's like this is a really good litmus test to see where they're at.
And then the last one that we're going to look at all year is Bubba Briscoe, and this one's good.
I think this is yours.
Yeah,
you wanted to see this one.
I wanted to see this one because Briscoe, brand new spot, so we don't know anything from him, and Bubba, who is trying to just get over the hump, like he's been there,
validate
exactly. He just wants to see that, and so I think this could heat up to be good, and especially if the Toyotas are showing speed like they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm interested in that one because I think the whole new team. You know, you would think super speedways are super speedways, right?
Yeah.
Like that pole, and I'm not shitting on Briscoe at all, but that pole, any pole at a super speedway, hats off to the crew guys, right?
Yes.
And whoever filed down that spoiler.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what you have to do. They're all doing the exact same thing at Daytona. They're not.
And so what I love with these head-to-heads is kind of as much as I don't like the schedule the way it plays out in the beginning of the year, we're not going to know till like 4 or 5 races in. So and you'll see that right now because we'll go through them and it's Daytona, right?
Yeah.
So we had SVG versus Suarez. Suarez got him.
Yep.
Cindric Berry, Cindric got him. Hocevar Gibbs,
and that was also due to Berry being kind of an early exit.
Yes,
like he was.
He
was doored up way like in one of the first incidents of the race. So it was like. Can you tell? Like, we give it to Cindric. Yeah,
and that's
was
where it's
better,
going to get interesting. Is I think we're going to have a little bit of false numbers, and then somebody's going to have to come back. It's going to make it really interesting. Hocevar Gibbs, once again, same thing, right?
Yes, Hocevar got tied up early in that back, and you can't not give it to Ty Gibbs because at the same time he just was in the right place, right time.
Yeah,
it is Hocevar get up further in the pack, so you don't have to race with the scum back there.
Yeah, the squirrels.
He might be the squirrel though.
Right,
So you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then we had Bubba Briscoe, same thing, and Briscoe got it, and we talked about it beforehand because that big penalty came down. A lot of times they take your position away. They didn't on this one, so he still finished like 4th. It was up there.
So he got it. He got his points. Minus 100, or did they scrub the points?
Like he got his points for that. That's why he's minus 67. So like they
instead of like minus 100.
Yeah.
Because he would be exactly minus 100.
Yeah, but they gave him his points for it. And same thing. Like if he wins a race, like we talked about.
Yeah.
He'll get 10 playoff points, which will turn into 0 because he's negative 10.
Yeah.
So those will be interesting. I think let's roll that into Atlanta predictions if you're good.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have a ton to talk about.
No, we don't.
I think Atlanta is getting more of like a old school super speedway. Where back in the day, it was really more about handling. And even if they were wide open, they had to drive the car, and they might have to lift a little bit and manage that.
They're definitely going to have to lift.
I think they will.
Especially if they get that third line going, and we know how narrow that is.
Yeah.
Is it on the exit of 2, or is it on the exit of 4?
So all both straightaways are narrower than the corners.
Yes, that's okay. Yeah, so like literally that
Which
third
was
line.
NASCAR, like, how can we funnel everybody together?
Yeah, how can we make them wreck?
Yeah, Jesus.
So, no. Where were we? I've lost my train of thought.
I know, I'm sorry. I love interrupting you and doing that.
Yeah, no. No. What'd you ask?
I don't think handling.
Handling, yes. We were talking about handling. Yes, they're going to have to lift. They're going to have to move around a little bit more, and it is going to be more of what your crew did that weekend. And, of course, staying out of trouble, like always.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a super speedway thing. And then the last one, cherry on top, is who manages the fuel best. But at the same time, it's like where those cautions fall.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing.
That's the thing. I think what I want to see from this is I want to see some green flag stops. I feel like we got robbed.
We did. Some weird debris cautions. Did you feel like that?
I felt like
Was
that.
I crazy in thinking that last caution before the wrecks?
Yeah,
conveniently timed.
Very because. I know.
Put my tinfoil hat on. But.
Yeah. No, I think you wear it all the time. Yeah, you wear it all the time. But no, I'm with you. It was very suspect, and it helped everyone. And NASCAR does that. Yeah, because some guys have kind of made their bed, like we're gonna stay, and then.
But then they were all out from there.
Then they were all out from there. Yeah.
It's like, well.
I wonder why, because it's also one of those things too, though, because you're not going to. That's the other thing too about the fuel mileage thing is even if they get that caution and they need fuel, they're only going to put a second of fuel in there because that's all they need to get to the end. At the same time.
Speaking of which, I think they did this at the duels, which obviously we were a little bit busy, but I saw it later. Did you notice the iPad?
Yes. Yes.
Have you seen anything about that?
I have.
Isn't that crazy?
That is.
So now
they think that's
quicker than the guy going 3, 2, 1, go.
It makes sense because you can see a countdown.
Yeah,
and not just they do 3, 2, 1, go, but this is more like exact because they're like, hey, we are only taking 7 seconds. You get out there and you hold the pad, and as soon as that car stops, that timer's going. And then the driver's focused on it, green go. I mean, it makes sense.
It's still weird to me, like and this has been talked about on other podcasts too, but like it's still the human error of when that fuel can goes in, it's somebody pressing a button.
Yeah.
It's still like there's, at some point they'll figure this out. There'll be something dinging in the ear. There'll be a sensor to ding in the ear and whatever.
Yeah.
Which is illegal, but they'll do it anyway.
They will.
We have an upset. I put upset / surprise because I don't think there's an upset when it's a speedway, but a surprise.
I mean, to me, the only one that comes to mind is I could see a Josh winning this one. Okay. I don't see maybe the other surprise I would say, which would be to me a surprise for real fans if Kyle Larson won this race. To me, that's a surprise.
That is a surprise.
But
Wouldn't that be total Kyle Larson if that's the first super speedway he wins?
Yeah, it would be.
Because he still wouldn't win Daytona and Talladega.
No, he would never win those.
Yeah.
But he could win Atlanta. Like, I don't count on him winning it, but that to me, that would be a surprise if he won.
It's still hard for me to, like, when you talk about, like, Dale Jr. has X amount of super speedway wins.
Yeah, a lot.
And we're still, but, like, now, and I know they are, but, like, you're counting Atlanta as a super speedway now.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to.
That's going to hurt his number. It's kind of like.
Well, it does already because Austin Hill.
Yeah.
Like, if you've paid attention to, like, Xfinity or anything, they'll, like, put up Austin Hill's the all-time leading laps. And even Dale said, like, well, you're counting Atlanta.
Yeah.
Don't count Atlanta.
Yeah. Because he didn't get to race that speed.
Right. Yeah. He had taking X amount of
times.
They're
going there twice a year.
Yeah.
And so that's. How many laps they run? 400?
Yeah.
That's 400.
Austin Hill has 30% more chance to...
Exactly. To get more laps than someone. So
and that car, you talking about a Penske car having an advantage?
Oh,
those RCR Xfinity cars. Oh, my God.
They've got to be cheated out
to
the they're so good.
That's crazy.
So good.
But yeah, I could see. I don't know. The thing with Atlanta, it seemed, and maybe this is just in my head, it seems so narrow.
Yeah.
That you don't really get that guy that gets an upset. And we haven't had one that
I mean, Suarez, I feel like it's kind of an upset.
God, dude, I keep forgetting that was.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 3-wide finish. I mean, I think it would be a surprise if Kyle won the race. Like, no offense to him, it would be a surprise. He hadn't won in a year.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a surprise if he wins. Not that he doesn't have the talent or the speed to do it, but it would be a surprise. So I mean, I think the only guys that wouldn't be a surprise are all the Penske guys. That wouldn't be a surprise, and maybe William Byron. I think that's really it.
Yeah.
Like as far as super speedway goes, like to me, anyone else you can make the case of a surprise.
That's fair.
Because Denny, I mean, maybe you could put Denny in there as not a surprise too, because he's really good at super speedways. But at the same time, when's the last one he's won?
Dude, it's been forever.
It's been a minute. It's like he's the best in Martinsville and hadn't won in 30 years. Yeah.
Sad. I put will a team go out on speed, like go all out on speed, no fuel mileage. And I want to preface this with saying, I know I listen to a lot more podcasts than you do, but Dale Jr. did like a live one. I don't know if you saw this, but he had Justin Allgaier on. It was live at Daytona. Oh. And he was like, I'm sick of this fuel mileage. I don't mean to make him sound like a hillbilly. Yeah, so I'll talk regular.
He does. He's from North Carolina.
Yeah, he is. I don't mean to.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm going to tell Greg Ives, the crew chief, he's like, we're going all out.
Yeah.
And he's like, if the cautions don't fall our way, they don't. He's like, but I would rather lose because the cautions don't fall our way than have to do this fuel mileage thing. And the crowds, like, Junior's is in it. Oh, my God. Well, what happened? Yeah, he did the same thing as everybody. Yeah. So there's something. There's some reason they're not doing
I think it's because they can't get enough people to buy into it. I think
do you need enough people? Because a 60% pack compared to 100% single car, and I'm not saying it has to be a single car, but
you think a single car can pass the whole
I think they could, but I think they never would. But I'm still team what you've always said, get like a Spire and a Rick Ware or whatever, like why Spire and Colleague doesn't team up and try to lap the field. I do not know. Dude, and what I think it might be is Spire and Colleague get set down with Chevy and are like, you understand your role here, right?
You're here to help us win.
You're here behind HMS and RCR.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. So who can just, because now the more I've thought about that, like that's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single team that would be able to branch off and do their own thing.
I think the only one that you could probably make a case for would be 2311 and getting in Legacy.
No way.
You don't think so?
No, dude, Toyota's got all them in the same thing.
Yeah,
like where?
I'm saying
they're all
maybe
key, and they're all key partners, right?
I know,
so they have to work together.
I know, but maybe you're getting I think that you could easily convince 2311 and Legacy to do it, and then to make it a full thing, try to get Joe Gibbs to do it.
Yeah, and so that's the manufacturer saying we're just doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to possibly see it because I just want to see it.
Yeah. Like, probably the only way.
Yeah.
That's a good point you made.
I think it's like the only way we actually see it because Hendrick's not going to do that. Penske's fine. They don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
They race. They race so good there. Anyway.
They run it.
Yeah. But I feel like the Toyotas are the ones that would have to change the game on that.
I think
because there's enough of them now that they easily
could.
You get
they could lap the field.
7 of them, 100%, and like that back guy is bumping that other guy. I mean, dude, you're talking like lapping with
crazy speed.
Yes, yeah. I think the other thing though too is like you would get. There's so many variables, and we've talked about that so many times. Like they think about all that stuff, and it's like if they're not doing it, I mean. It may not be worth it because I mean, what you got to think about is if you're running 100%, you have to put more fuel in the car, so it's going to take you more time on pit road.
Yeah,
I feel like you have to
make up enough time.
You have to make up enough time. I think it's only worth it if they can guarantee the race stays green, which is a big ask sometimes, especially when you get random debris cautions.
Yeah,
because imagine if they were literally in turn 4, exiting turn 4, and the field is entering turn 2, coming out of turn 2 right there. They've got a lead, but that squander, it's gone.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And they have to put more fuel in the car than everyone else does. It's a
agree.
big risk, but to me, the payoff, especially for like a Legacy and even a Toyota to show that we're going to race this different, I think is worth it, personally.
I think you'd have to be an engineer to go in there and say exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Here's the downfall.
Yeah.
Right? If the cautions don't fall, we're screwed, right?
Yeah. But that's every race.
That's every race.
That's every race.
So then I would take, here's where every Toyota finished, right?
Yeah.
Doing this strategy. You had Briscoe up here in 4th.
Yep.
Yada, yada. Then we had all these other guys.
Yeah.
20th, 30th. We had them spread out. And then you say, okay, worst case scenario, we run all out. Cautions don't fall. Here's where the Toyotas finish.
Yeah.
You take that average and I'm talking out of my ass, right? But I'm just saying,
no,
like,
I think
if that average is the same as doing fuel mileage and getting caught up in a wreck,
that's exactly where I was going. I feel like if you run by yourself 7 cars single file, you are 10 times more likely not to be in an incident, which is where half those guys get caught up anyway, especially in Legacy. Not in 2311's case too. Sometimes, I mean, Tyler Reddick dodged this one, but he didn't even really dodge it. Denny got him, or he could have made a run at William Byron for the win right there. That's another thing we didn't talk about is
I had that on there. No, I did not have on that.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
but not to go back. But
no.
Why
talk about that? I think we're done on Atlanta predictions.
Yeah. We just got to get into
with that.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I will say I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
So we watched the duels. That caution fell.
Yeah.
And we're like, why?
Why?
And then they didn't call the caution.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
I think you call it. Like, I don't know. Well, it was weird because in the duels they set a precedent that we're not going to throw a caution, but then they go to the truck race and they throw a caution. Mm-hmm. Like they threw a caution.
No, the duel they didn't throw. They did throw a caution, right? Otherwise, Eric Jones would have won.
Yes.
Yeah.
They threw a caution. Eric Jones didn't win. Yeah. Then they go to the trucks. They throw another caution.
Yes.
That ends it, which it didn't matter anyway. It was Eckes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I watched that race.
I know. I think it was
that bottle was a lot more full when I was watching.
Yeah,
I
know. It was Parker Klingerman. Now that
Parker did win the truck
Klingerman
race. Yeah, he won the truck race.
But he got disqualified.
Yes.
But okay, so then it went to Eckes. But it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because he was in the lead, so it wouldn't have mattered. But then we go to the Xfinity race, and they did blow it. They blew it, right? One of them, they blew it. Like they threw a they didn't throw the caution. Like they didn't throw it. I think they let them finish it out, and then they go
to
the
Cup race. They let them race.
I know,
it out.
but I think I think they did it in like the last two. I don't know, maybe but
it's hard to keep track of.
It is. But we know for sure in the Cup race they let them finish, and they really hadn't done that all weekend until what I think happened in the Xfinity race.
Yeah,
and it just felt weird. Like you had set a precedent all week, and to me, it's the same officiating that goes on throughout every single race, especially the same weekend. Like to me, that's how you do these things, and it just made it to me. It just I understand why they did it. They didn't want the race to end under caution, but at the same time, you had already set a precedent all week that you're going to throw a caution when something happens, and it wouldn't have changed anything. To me, you throw it because you've thrown it all weekend. Now, if they're in the duels and they're letting them race it out, let them. You know what I mean? Like what was the difference? It literally happened in like the same exact spot.
It did,
like the same exact spot, and then you didn't let it happen. Now, again, that's fine, but they just do the consistency when we've harped about this, like because that did change the end of that duels race.
It did because Eric Jones made it.
Eric Jones made it to the line first,
and that's points.
That's points.
So my opinion on it is. They threw that caution in the duels. We'll just use the duels because I can't remember the other stuff either. And the whole thing is we want the safety cars out there, right?
Yeah.
Which fair.
Oh,
right?
Dude, safety, if you're throwing something for safety, no one's going to get that
But
mad.
it's a 2-second difference, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what every fan said.
Yeah.
It's a 2-second difference. Let's say it is critical. 2 seconds is 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
You're sending the safety trucks immediately anyway.
Yeah.
Because the races, they're not coming back around at full speed.
Yeah, I know.
But the part where that gets tricky is you still have guys barreling into the crash, which I understand completely. That's more on the drivers, I feel like.
Yeah.
Don't go 180 into thick white smoke.
I don't think they're that stupid. Like
some of them.
Some of them, okay, that's
for
fair.
sure are.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. as we talked about. But
I know.
I think,
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here, where we've griped, like at the duels we griped, right?
Yeah.
Let them race it out.
Yeah.
Right. Let them race it out. Please let them race it out. And in the Cup race, they let them race it out.
Yeah.
And so here's where I stand on this until I'm proved otherwise. We asked for a change. We got a change. To me, this is the precedent, right? They've gotten better. I'm not going to bitch that it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
It is inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
But if this is the new precedent, race it out. As long as it's, the wreck happens from turn 4 or onward, we're going to let them race it out.
Yeah.
If that's how it is now, great.
I'm
This
fine
is the
with
day-
that too.
This
Yeah.
is the day everything changed, right?
Yeah.
And cool.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have my eye on you.
Yeah.
Until then.
Yeah, I know, 100%. I literally think it's like to me, it's the consistency part.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard to go, hey, if that happens, we're going to let them race.
Yeah. And maybe this is what it took. If this is what it took for that to happen.
Yeah. Maybe
Cool.
it took
Cool.
an Eric Jones losing his points in that duels race for them to be like, okay, we're going to let him race.
And realizing that, okay, yeah, maybe we even could have thrown a caution at the 500.
Yeah.
But the difference in the safety trucks coming out was
2 seconds.
2 seconds,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe.
Right? So
because like you said,
what's the difference?
They're going. Like, as soon as a wreck happens, they're not waiting
Especially
for the
when they know it's the
caution
last
light.
lap.
Yeah.
And everybody that comes back
It's-
around is going to be going 40, 50 miles an hour.
Yes. Especially at super speedways.
Yeah.
Like, they are, dude, after the start finish line, and maybe you just don't let the leader do a burnout but they still let them do a burnout anyway.
Well, see, the leader's still coming around doing their cool down
lap.
and then they'll do a victory lap. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have time.
They have time.
So I'm like team. They've changed it. This is a new precedent until
they don't.
So
Yeah. And
that's
we'll
where
see.
I'm at.
We'll
see.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be nice and give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So take me into bets.
Yeah,
Where
so
did we
we-
finish? I think
Dude.
we had Byron.
We did.
We did have Byron. And that does officially give us money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were.
'Cause I think that's the complaint I get from some people. There's like, there's no way you can spread that much money out and give money.
No.
And I tell them, I'm not arguing with you. I'm
Yeah.
just telling them, I'm like, no, that we've done the research.
Yeah, you do
Like,
the math.
Yeah. We get money.
The math is mathing.
Yeah, we
Okay?
we get money on it, right?
Yeah, we get money. Hold on, I'll tell you the exact winnings that we got here. So we bet, and it's weird because I threw in a last second one just for me for fun, and it worked out even better. So, and I'll tell you why I did it. But so we had 12 drivers last week, and William Byron down here was plus 1,700. We bet $250 on him. And we won $45. We bet 30, so we won $15.
Okay, so we're up a unit and a half.
Yes,
right.
We're up a unit.
So
and
we're
a half.
up a unit and a half.
As of now.
So
now
I just
technically, if you which we put in 3 units at the very beginning.
Yeah.
On the futures, which we don't know what'll pay off till the end. So technically, we were down after the bets we made. We were down 6 units, and now we're down a unit and a half.
You talking about the champion?
Yes, the champion bet.
Take those out.
Okay,
Take those out.
then
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
up
yeah,
a
yeah.
unit and a half.
Yeah.
We're up a unit and a
Yeah.
half. So he was plus 1,700, and then I also at the last minute, as I was looking at other things I could bet on, FanDuel was running a profit boost, which they never run profit boost on NASCAR. I was so surprised. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to use it. And I threw a little over a quarter unit on Justin Allgaier to finish in the top 10. And that paid.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of big. But just going off what we bet on, we're up a unit and a half.
Okay.
And
it's huge.
Yeah, massive.
I can't stress that enough because I think that's I try to explain to people like this strategy.
Dude,
we've done the legwork, right?
Yes.
And we put some thought and time into it, and you can do the strategy and make money.
Yes. You're gonna
And we did.
Yeah. And like you said, like we said before, the winning most or the most favorited driver is either going to lose you a quarter unit, which is perfectly fine, honestly, or he's going to break you even where you don't lose anything at all. And I think that's what it's looking like this weekend as I pull up
Perfect.
Great
start. Great start. Yeah.
Let's and we can build on it too because we have another 12 that we can pick. The key is with this one, the 2 favorites, Blaney, Logano, are plus 1,000, and honestly, we can't leave them out personally.
So you go to 10 drivers then?
You could go to 10 drivers, I still think we keep it at 12 and just hope one
to
of
make
them,
the units work out.
to
'Cause
make
we're 3 units. That's our thing.
Yes,
right.
we're three units.
3 units
to make the units work out, I think we still keep it at 12, bet on them, and either hope they don't win, or if they win, we only lose a quarter unit. Like, see what I'm saying?
How do you feel about? Well, you want to keep them.
I do.
Okay.
I mean,
so you wouldn't.
The only person that
What about going third down?
Yeah,
Leave
third
those
down's
out.
Kyle Busch. That would make you money.
But I'm
straight off.
saying leave the 2 Penske guys out. Start our 12 at 3 and go 12 down from there.
leave Blaney Logano out.
Yeah.
And then have 12.
How do you feel about that?
I don't feel good
Okay.
about that. I
Okay.
don't personally.
What if we went 9 drivers?
We
can
could go
split-
9.
We can split our 3
We
units.
could go
up.
9 and split it that way.
Yeah.
Because that would be.
Because we already have talked about we might have a wild winner, but it's not going to be we're not going to have a Harrison Burton, right?
Yeah.
So we
I
can
don't
hedge
think
our
so.
bets on going from 12 to 9.
Yeah. We can do that.
You all right with that?
Yeah, so we go Blaney Logano. Kyle Busch is the next guy. I mean, I feel like maybe we have to.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. How do you feel?
No, I'm not writing anything down. Hold
I know
on.
that's fine. Blaney Logano.
We got Blaine. I'm with you. You've talked me into it.
I mean, dude, I would hate to not bet on them because
I'm with
you
you.
know what I
I'm
mean.
with you. I'm with you.
That's like betting $100 on Larson when
Yeah.
he's up 3 seconds.
So if we have 9 units, so we're gonna put
And we have 9 drivers, 3 units.
9 drivers, 3 units. I'm just trying to think of how we would. Sorry, I can't do math. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So we got the next 3 guys are Kyle Busch, Cindric, and Chase. I feel like you put Cindric and Busch in there, but you leave off Chase. But I don't know how you feel about that either. You leave off Chase. You have, you want to.
He's won there. That's the only.
I know.
I don't know.
table
What does your heart tell you?
My heart tells me no,
Okay.
but that's what my gut's telling me.
So who's your for sure's?
My for sure's right now? You
Blaney
see,
Logano, Busch.
yeah, even Busch.
No, you gotta leave Busch.
Okay. Blaney Logano, Busch, Cindric for sure too. Like
Yeah.
he's plus 1,200 to win. That seems like money. The next 3, Denny, Larson, Byron. I think Denny, and I think you leave the other 2 out possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Byron doesn't go back to back. And nothing that he couldn't, but we haven't seen that in years that they go back to back. Next 3, Brad, Bell, Suarez. Brad for sure, and I think you maybe Suarez, but I think you leave Bell off. Or do you think we put Bell in?
Oh no, it's hard.
Okay.
It's hard for
I know.
me. That one's
Okay.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put him on the maybe.
Yeah, put him on the maybe.
You want to put Suarez in for sure?
I feel like, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, he won it last
Yeah.
year. Why couldn't he do it again?
It's fair. So we got 2 more drivers.
Yeah, we have 2 more.
Am I doing my math wrong here before we get too long? So
Yeah.
I picked 9 because I thought that would work with 3
Yeah,
units.
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work with 3 units.
No.
So what's our?
Hold on. You
'Cause I
got to
know
break our...
Because you were doing. I mean, I don't want to give your units
No,
out.
yeah, I already
but-
did. Already did. My units are $10.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
units are $10.
So if we went 30 divided by 9, that'd be a 333.
Yeah, a driver.
Yeah.
Which
and
would-
we'd have like a couple cents left over.
So if you bet, hold on, I'll just do it for example to make sure. If we bet Joey Logano is plus 1,000 at 333, at $3.33, we win $33.
So we're still making money.
We're making
So
money.
you want to call it 333?
Yeah, we can
We'll just
call
be
it
a few
330.
cents off.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just bet a tad bit more than.
Yeah. You throw 334 on a couple of them.
Yeah.
You get it there.
Yeah.
Because 333 times 9 drivers is going to be 29.97.
Yeah.
So you need to throw 334 on 2 drivers.
On 2 drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blaney and Logano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
just
are,
to make it even for everybody.
Yeah. There are 334s. 334s.
Unless you want to go to 12. If you're feeling 12 now, then let's go to 12.
I don't know.
I don't want to talk you out of your
No.
strategy.
I know. So if we can get it to 9 and feel confident about it, but if there's 3 on the maybe list, I think we just stick with 12.
Okay.
And
Okay.
hedge our bets with hopefully
Yeah.
Joey and Blaney losing. or just not winning. Like
Yeah.
they could finish second and third. I don't care as long as they don't win.
Yeah.
But it's hard, dude. You can't leave them out. You
No,
know what I
know
mean?
You can't leave,
You can't leave them
that's the
out.
only reason I want to switch to 9.
Because, but at the same time, if you put our $250 on them, you're losing $5 if they win, which is not bad. It's just half a unit.
I know.
So we'd be up a unit at the end of the day. That to me, that's
so the way we're doing it now. We need 2 more drivers.
yeah.
We have 1 on maybe.
We have 7 drivers right now.
Yeah, we have 7. We
Yeah.
have 1 on maybe.
Well, we have 2 on maybe with Seabell. Did you write Seabell down?
Yeah. Who's your other maybe?
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going. Keep
Okay.
going. We'll play this out.
Next 3 after Suarez: Bowman, Bubba, Busher. Maybe Bubba, but the other to me it should be between Bubba and Busher if we throw one of those on there. I think Bowman we don't really have to worry about personally,
Okay.
unless you feel something different.
I don't feel anything strongly.
Okay.
So
And then, but to me, then we get in with 9 because then you're like, then it's Chastain, Briscoe, Reddick. It's like, God bless.
So you want Bubba and Busher for sure?
I don't know about for sure, but if I had to
I
pick
think I
one,
want Busher for
I
sure.
do too. I
Yeah,
want Busher for sure. If I had to pick one,
Put Bubba on maybe.
yeah, and then Ross, Briscoe, Reddick. Do we like any of them for sure? Maybe. I don't really like any of them for sure.
The only one, and it feels weird, is Ross.
I know.
I don't know
but
why.
I also think Ross is a loose cannon at
He
these
is a
races.
loose cannon.
Dude,
He is
he's
a
the
loose
one. He's
cannon.
the first guy to go 3 wide to get up there to get that track position. But also at the same time, he was up there at the 500.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he knows how to do it. It's not like he can't do it.
His biggest enemy is him.
Yes, we're betting on Ross not doing
Ross
any Ross
stuff.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a tough bet to
It's
take.
a tough bet to make anywhere, really.
Yeah, it is a tough bet to take. Okay. I mean, any other names that you're like we need to throw in there? I mean, to me, after that, it gets kind of crazy. I mean, you got Ty Gibbs after that.
Then I'm gonna advocate, and you can count. This is your thing, but you can count me down. I'm gonna advocate for 9.
Okay.
And our 9th driver is gonna be either Bell, Chase, or Bubba.
Bubba.
What do you think,
Bubba.
Bubba?
Yeah.
And I think that way
Yeah, let's do
we're
it.
leaving 3 out,
Yep.
but we're still setting ourselves up to where even if we win, we're not losing money.
Yeah. I like it. 334.
Am I doing my math right on that? That if
No,
if we 334 Blaney and Logano,
Yeah. If we 334, then we're gonna make a.
yeah. But if we 333 the rest,
Yeah. Hold on. Let me make sure.
Yeah. So you basically do 333 times 7
Yeah.
plus 334 plus 334. That's 29.99. So no, I do. Yeah. So we're leaving a cent off somewhere.
Well, we can add one more. We can add one more 334 guy.
Yeah. Add a cent to Bush. Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 29. Add a cent to Bush.
244 times 3.
Technically, we have more according to FanDuel. We can add more cents to more guys.
So by
We can
my
add
math,
two. We can add 2 more cents.
by my math, if you 334 Blaney, Logano, and Bush, and 333 the rest, we should be right at 30.
Okay. Oh, I typed in 330 for these guys.
We have ag degrees, guys,
Yeah,
so
no, we're bad.
hang with us.
Okay, let me. 334.
Yeah, 334, 3 of them, 333, 6 of them.
333.
Just for our viewers, if they're hanging with us, that'll keep the 3 units
exactly the same.
exactly the same. So
Yep,
if your
that's
unit,
it.
so if your unit isn't $10, you're just gonna have to do your own math.
Yeah, you have to do your
And
own
I
math.
promise you, it'll take you less time than us.
Yeah, it will. It will. So round it out, wrap it up. I just locked them in. Open bets here. We have Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez, Brad Kay, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Austin Cindric, Joey Logano. 9 drivers this week. And let's go make some more money.
Yeah.
Let's go make some more.
I love starting up.
Dude, you get up right here,
It's huge.
and I already want to play conservative throughout. And if we don't have to start swinging big, that would be the way to go.
Because I think coming out of Daytona up,
that's huge.
That's
we didn't do that last year.
No.
We went down 3 straight off the bat.
So and I think and I'm sure you feel the same way. Going into Super Speedway, we expect to lose.
Yes.
Right.
And so
we
when you
expect
win,
it. So we won.
Yeah. So stick with us this year. We're gonna be good.
Yeah, we're gonna be real good.
We're gonna be good.
We have learned.
We have learned. All right. Anything else on bets?
That's it, man.
Let's do it.
I think we're making good time too.
Yeah, we're at hour 25. So.
Hell, we're making the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Good stuff. Well, I mean, half the episode is us doing math.
Yeah.
So that's always fun.
And the Bryan Clauson.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You guys can see it up
You
there.
want me to look away?
No, you shouldn't have to.
That's how advanced we are.
Yeah, we should be.
We got to shout out our supporters at the end too.
I know.
Don't forget.
I will.
Don't forget.
I won't forget. Take this down. And I'm literally just putting it on the screen for you so you can see. Oh, yeah. Did you see?
No, I didn't see
forgot
anything.
the screen got bigger.
No. This ain't my first rodeo.
Okay, good. Hold on. Oh, it's down here at the bottom.
I've dabbled in PowerPoint before.
Good job. I'm glad you have. Okay.
All right. Choose who.
I hope you guys can. I can't see them.
What can you not see? What's wrong?
I,
Speak to me.
Use. Hold on. Don't look. Okay, I think they're able to see it when I put it up, but so what I'm talking about is on OBS. When I throw up the PowerPoint on here, it takes away my screen to where I can only see the PowerPoint too. So it should be fine. Don't look. Did you see again?
Nope.
Okay. Hold on. All right. And if I go back and I can't see it, I'll fix it for you guys. But okay. Choose Who's On. Season 2. New scores, right?
New scores.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good.
Buckshot
like
Jones.
That's right. All right. If you don't know the rules, if it's your first time with us, I'm going to give him 3 facts. Any driver, he's going to get to ask 2 questions, 3 total guesses, and he can trade his guesses for questions. So he could get more than 2 questions if he wants it. And I took one out of your book, and we put them all on one this year for everybody to read. I think it'll be easier this way. You can kind of refer to them. 2-time Daytona 500 winner, 10 wins in the Cup Series, never won a championship. Here's your 3 facts.
Guess.
Yeah.
Is it Sterling Marlin?
God dang it, dude. I knew, dude, I wanted to do it, but I didn't. I knew you would
Tennessee
get him because
boy.
he's from here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Tennessee
But I wanted
boy.
to do him.
No, that's a good one.
I wanted
That's a
to do
good one.
him. I literally tried to do him like 3 other times, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, you're gonna know who this
Yeah.
guy is just
I've
because
seen
he's
him
from
race
around here.
at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
He's a god there,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah,
But
that's a good one.
Yeah.
He so his 2 wins. The reason there might have been a time where I would have known that, but if you remember, I did my episode 4 on McClure Racing.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
it's a Tennessee team,
and
that's where he got both of his Daytona 500s.
yep.
And then he has the infamous, since we got a little bit of time, we
Yeah.
can tell the story again. He was leading the 2002 Daytona 500 under red flag conditions. It was like a couple laps to go. Do you not remember the story?
No, I don't remember
Okay,
this.
so he's leading the Daytona 500. Red flag. They park him on the back stretch or the front stretch. I can't remember. And he's got a fender rub. Sterling Marlin gets out of his car under red flag. Out of his car. Helmet on and everything. Starts pulling on the fender.
No way.
And the pace car driver gets out and is like,
what are you doing?
dude, get in your car.
Yeah.
Well, you know the rule, red flag, you can't work on your car.
Yeah.
And you know that rule's for like the crew guys.
Yeah.
Well, it applies to the driver too. Back of the line, Sterling.
Oh,
what are
my
you doing?
gosh.
It's the funniest video ever.
No, that dude, smart on him. Maybe they were
Evidently
like,
not.
Yeah, I mean,
He's like, maybe in the rule book it says crew member.
yeah, maybe it does.
Yeah. Or maybe he just wasn't thinking.
Could be both.
Yeah,
that's a good
but
one,
good
though.
guy. He's got some health problems now, so he's
getting kind of up there.
He's getting kind of up there, but still around, still kicking.
Yeah. No, I think when I looked, his last race was like in 2021 or something. He in some smaller series. Some like
he's
he had
still,
raced a race.
for a while. He was still going out to the fairgrounds. I don't know if he still is.
I
but
don't, and don't quote me on that by any means. But
yeah.
it was like
no, I'm holding you to it.
It was way more. It was way more recent than I would have ever expected.
That's crazy. So I saw him. This was years. I was in high school, I think, and it was. I'm sure you've heard this before. It was the last race at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
How many times have they had that race?
They're still having it.
Yeah, it's
because
like
I just watched one last year.
Every time it's like this is the last race
one.
at the fairgrounds, and dude, the place was packed.
Yep.
And Sterling ran because he used to
win?
He did not. No.
Whoa.
No, he did not. No, I mean he was up there in age then too.
Oh, but still, he
was doing it.
That's how he does it. That's how you do it.
So, man, all right. Well, close this out, buddy.
Yeah. Last thing I have is I hope you guys are listening on any platform you want now. We got it figured out, so we're on YouTube, of course. Thank you guys, seriously, for we did something a little different last week with our first episode of the season, and we know it was a long one, but we kind of live watched the duels with you guys, and you guys turned out for that one. I'm really impressed.
Very impressed.
Yeah, so keep it coming. We kind of kept this one right at an hour and a half. But we're on every platform that you want. Wherever you get your podcast, we're on there. And then the last thing I want to say is we got some interest in the hats. So we're going to make a hat deal. Yeah,
nice. Okay.
We're going to be able to make a hat deal, I think. And we should have a couple more to sell after that. So if you want a hat and you haven't already let me know or haven't put it in the comments, whatever, we will get you a hat if you want one, $30. Last thing I'll say is the people that donated, we have one person that donated. I know.
Let's see that beautiful man's name.
Yeah. Let's see it. I exit out of it, of course.
Oh, sorry.
No.
That's okay. We can say it.
No, hold on. I can get it.
Do I need to look away?
I mean, I'm going to say it anyway, but we'll put it on the screen for him. I mean, it's been up there the whole episode, but we'll put it on there again because that's how important these people are to us.
For sure. Yeah.
And it means the world, seriously, to do something like that. And here we go. We're going to drag it over. There he is. Mr. Kevin Kirkland.
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin. Biggest supporter of the podcast so far. So if you haven't donated and you would like to, buy me a coffee. It'll be linked in the YouTube. It'll be linked in wherever you get your podcast. So just scroll down to the description, click on it, put in whatever you want to donate to us, and that money comes straight to us. So huge shout out to Kevin. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Kevin. And I just want to point out there's a lot of white space underneath that name.
Yes, we want to fill that up. You will get a shout out every episode from here on out. We're going to talk about our supporters, and we couldn't do it without you guys listening, honestly. We would do it anyway, but but it makes it way more fun when you actually kind of start a community, and it's cool. So we get some feedback, and
a lot of flaggers.
No.
We still need a name, guys.
Yeah, we still need a name. We've spitballed a couple, and they were not good.
So. A lot of droppers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that one either?
No. I have problems with droppers,
All right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Spencer, for putting this all together. And we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. See y'all.